This all came about because we wanted to show our public safety customers and the broader sector how the technology can be used with this new long-term evolution, or LTE, can be used to deliver much better outcomes for the public safety sector, both to protect the community and to protect themselves. In the demonstration facility you see today, we have a number of applications, tool sets, and all running over a purpose-built broadband network. We're helping our public safety customers go back to government with a more informed view of the sort of spectrum requirements. So it's all about how much spectrum, and that the amount of spectrum then affords a certain amount of capability and capacity. I guess initially, just going back a step, our public safety customers did initially start with the idea that they could have some spectrum at 700, but it's clear that the government's auctioning that off and to the carriers. So the focus then became on 800 megahertz, and that's an adjacent band, so the laws of physics, the propagation is roughly the same, and therefore the outcome's similar, and it would really have to be in 800 is the only other viable spectrum. The question really now is how much and where in that band. Well, probably one of the main uses is actually for narrowband voice, so for, I guess, two-way radio, or commonly known as walkie-talkie technology. You'd be surprised how broadly used that technology still is today. So that's probably one of the biggest single users. In fact, we run networks at 800 megahertz. But there are interestingly some public safety narrowband data networks in 800 megahertz as well. And so those users, in theory, could move from that narrowband to these broadband technologies, but there will be some movement of other users out of the 800 megahertz band or into different parts of that band to afford public safety the opportunity, if that's what the regulator and the government ultimately decides. That is an age-old challenge. There's always that balance between protecting the community and delivering what is an increasing expectation from the public about how they're protected, how police, fire, ambulance and emergency services provide services to the community, and balancing that up with economic return. So there are studies, not here in Australia, but there have been studies in other parts of the world which demonstrate, in one case, for every dollar invested, I think it's a $4.30 return. That comes back to, one, the technology enabling what's called a force multiplier effect, so effectively having more feet on the street, keeping them out in the field rather than in the office, having applications at their fingertips that make them more productive, so I can get more done with less. So there is definitely the opportunity to do business modelling which demonstrates a return, but that's got to be then balanced with the greater good.